All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the following Loving Sharing social media contest kickoff. We're really excited about this and everything that's to come out of it. We're going to review some of the best practices and the rules that we're going to go over today. And I do ask that you keep yourselves muted and save your questions. We will have a question and answer segment towards the end where we'll go over everything that we may have missed. And you can also put them in the Q&A box. We will be monitoring that throughout. I am Day Davis. I am the conference communications specialist, and I am joined by Reverend Sarah Bells Charlton, the communications commission chair, and Amy Ezel, the director of connectional ministries.
Glad to be here with y'all. Wish we could have lunch more often, y'all.
And we are going to go ahead and get started. I think, are we just going to jump into the contest
Sure,
rules and
sure,
everything and go ahead and do that?
sure. Yeah, I would. I'm going to go ahead and go over the rules for the contest. I would invite you to, in the chat, put what church you represent, just so that everybody knows. Not everybody on here knows everybody. And it's always, I mean, we see your name on your little Brady Bunch triangle, but we don't know where everybody's from. And that's always a nice thing. So be sure and put what church you are serving in the chat, or which church you attend. So first of all, I want to say thank you, because without the donors, Mr. and Mrs. Rush Harding, who donated to make this possible, this would not be possible. I want you a little bit about Mr. and Mrs. Harding. They approached Bishop about 9 months ago, and he is a local businessman here in Little Rock, and a philanthropist, and does all kinds of good things, and is a cradle-born Methodist from Clarendon Church, I believe, is where he grew up. And he approached the bishop and said, "I would like to help. I would like to help us coming out of disaffiliation. I would like to help us with some identity work and give us something that we can all get behind and be really proud of." Because he said, "I'm hearing kids are getting bullied at their schools for going to the Methodist church. I'm hearing, people are still saying really awful things that just aren't true." And so that's why he came to the bishop. And so when we visited with him and said, "Okay, this is kind of what we have in mind," he came back and said, "Okay, this is what I have in mind." And he said, "I want billboards, and I want television, and I want social media." And so know that that's where we've gone. And that is the reason that we chose billboards and television, and of course social media. So anyway, and we are grateful. Once again, we are grateful because through this social media contest, there is enough funding left over that we, as part of the bucket of money that he gave towards outdoor boards, that we're going to be able to give away 2 free outdoor boards to 2 church winners. So, the way that this contest is going to work is simply through hashtags. That's how we're going to measure. Because I don't know if you know that when you go to the search bar on your Facebook page, you don't put the hashtag in, but the actual hashtag, but you put the words all together, following, loving, sharing, and it will search for you, and it will show you all of the different posts that have been made using that hashtag. So that is how we're going to measure. Simple as that. And the winners of the social media contest, we looked at communities in Arkansas, and the majority of communities in Arkansas are well below population of 2,500, and so that's our majority. And the majority of our churches are in towns that are less than 2,500. So we thought that 2,500 was a good cutoff. So for towns, for local churches that are in a community or a town that has 2,500 or more of a population, we will be giving a free billboard to the person that shares the most posts in that division. Then we will also be giving a free billboard to the church in the 2,499 and below range, community population range, for the church that posts the most with the hashtag. So we're going to go into a little detail here, but I've had questions that, two questions that I want to address first. People have been asking me, okay, what does a post look like that is showing following Jesus, loving people, sharing grace? What does that look like? It's everything you're doing. Your worship services, just add that hashtag on there. Your worship services are totally following Jesus, loving people, sharing grace. If you have a picture from your fall festival, that is absolutely following Jesus, loving people, sharing grace. If you have a weekly Bible study, if you have youth that are doing something exciting, anything that you would post on your church Facebook page is going to qualify as following Jesus, loving people, sharing grace, or as we've shortened it, following, loving, sharing. Okay, so please make note that the hashtag we will be checking is following, loving, sharing. No spaces in between, or it will not show up. So just know that there's been I've talked to a lot of people that are really anxious about what qualifies, and really everything y'all are doing, all of the ministry you're doing that you usually take pictures of or that you share about on your social media qualifies. Pastor Sarah shortly is going to share with you some safety guidelines and just proper ways of using social media in just a minute. But don't overthink that. Do not overthink it. It's everything that you're already doing. Just put that hashtag. Now, let's talk about how we can count your post more than once. If people in your church or people in your community share your post, that counts. Okay, so the original post that you make or somebody from your church makes on the church account, that counts as one. And then anybody that shares it beyond that counts as additional shares. Okay, because those hashtags are going to show up. Okay, so that's how we're going to count that. Now, know that the original post has to come from a local church page. We can't, your members, your family, everyone we are happy for them to share the posts, and those will be counted. But it has to originally come from the local church page. Okay. The next thing is, in order for these to be counted, we want you to have the round logo that has the Arkansas State with the cross and flame in the middle. That needs to be your profile picture. Okay, for the 3 weeks that this contest is going to happen, and the dates are October 13th through November 7th, you need to have that as your profile picture, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing. But if you need the graphic, there are downloadable graphics on the website that you can either screenshot and upload, or you can download it and upload it to your Facebook on your desktop. Day can give you more details on that if you need it. Um, what have I forgotten, Sarah and Day, about the contest rules? I think that's it. It's really simple. You have to. It also, if you have a where we can foresee running into trouble is for some of our churches that have private groups and not a Facebook page. And we're not saying get rid of a Facebook, I mean a group. They serve a great purpose, and we understand that. But just know that anything that is private, we can't measure it because we can't see it and we have to be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and turn things back over to Day. She's going to talk about a few details. Yeah, Deanna.
So if someone shares it, does their share post need to be public?
It really does. And Day's going to show you how to do that. Now, oftentimes in posts, we will see how many times it is shared. And then when you go to the page to see who shared it, you can tell that a lot of the people have theirs locked down to privates, but we're going to count the number of shares. We can't make
Okay.
every single person, but we will count whatever the post
So you
says.
can still see the shares even if they have done friends
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, you can see it
Okay.
in the bottom corner because, yeah, we don't want to ask people to make their profiles public. It's such an invasion of privacy sometimes. There is a way to make this specific post public,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna,
But even when I do that, I get weird responses from
yeah.
men
We
in the
know.
military with
Yeah.
little dogs.
I did want to hit back on the topic of public Facebook groups, which I know most churches have, or not public Facebook groups, a Facebook page versus a group. It is so important for churches to have a Facebook page. That is, social media is where most people, especially, 30s, 20s, teens, go to. People are checking that quicker than they're checking a website because it's easier to update constantly, easier to post pictures, show the activities and the ways that the churches are being involved in the communities. And, that makes them be like, oh, well, they're hosting something today for kids. Maybe, this could be someone's first time going to a church event. They want to bring their kids and just test it out. So it's just so important. That's kind of what we are trying to promote with this as well, encouraging churches to post more about what's happening, to brag on yourselves. Um, never be afraid to brag on yourselves. You're all doing so many incredible things in your communities, and we want for you to sing it out, let people know it. And so, yeah, if you don't have a Facebook page for your specific church, or if you're mainly navigating a private Facebook group or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. If any church needs help setting that up, I would be happy to help in any way possible.
Day,
Amy?
I just have one little addition there. Y'all, I hear DSs all the time that are looking for um, directions to your churches.
Hmm.
If DSs can't find the direction to your churches with a GPS, then how are guests supposed to find that? Put your worship service times, and there is a way to put your address that is GPS linked on your Facebook page, so that people can find you. So so we forget about these things, and we've been doing it for so long, and we look at the same things and we forget, what are people looking for first? Worship times. What were they looking for second? How do I get there? And oftentimes, sorry, that's Bella. Oftentimes that you can make if your address is not so rural, most addresses are going to be able to be linked for a GPS that people can just tap on it and it'll go into their Apple Maps and get them there.
And if your page isn't, or if your church name isn't like the city you're in with, United Methodist Church, including, I'm trying to think of an example without calling out any specific church. Um, Okay,
I'll
let's
think of
just say,
one thing.
yeah.
It's very easy. We know inside our Methodist world what Wesley UMC would be. That makes sense to us. But for people who perhaps have not had experience in the church or don't have experience in Christian history, um, not understanding, where that's at or what city that's in when they're looking at it online. I'll share a bit, if that's okay, Day and Amy, to transition into our next piece. I recently undertook a Great American Road Trip intentionally in the most rural parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle, into New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, and I like to find United Methodist churches just to see them when I'm on, out and about on a road trip. And it took me 4 tries to find a church because they hadn't updated their Facebook page. The way I found it on Google Maps was incorrect. It looked like no one had taken into account the importance of a digital presence of the ministry. Digital presence in our ministry is part of our changing landscape. And I know we all as church leaders take that very seriously. And I think Amy and Dave, before we open this up to question and answers, I want to invite Day to speak a little bit about what makes a good Facebook post. And then I want to share a little bit from a perspective of just continued awareness of appropriate and professional post before we open it up for questions. So Day, why don't you share with us about what makes a good Facebook post on social media?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it super simple. It's the who, what, why, where. Um, just like I said before, promoting what you're doing in your churches, you're already doing so much. You're so involved with your communities and involved with your congregation. Sharing, I mean, what Bible study you have, who is invited, who is it for, and opened up to. Just the small details even make the biggest difference. Um, I don't know, Amy, Sarah, y'all can throw some more
No,
ideas.
I think,
Well,
oh, go ahead, Sarah. I'm
no.
sorry.
Day, let's talk a little bit about, if you will, what kind of photos are best. We all have smartphone. Well, most of us probably have smartphones with camera capabilities. To take a moment, Day, to tell us what makes a good photograph in a post.
Yeah, I think lighting is an important piece of that. Making sure if you're using your cell phones are a great resource. Your camera on there, it's incredible. Clean off the camera lens before you do it. Every time I take a picture, I clean off this with my shirt because nothing's worse than taking a picture you want to post on something professional and it being blurry. And I don't know, it's a simple technique that most people forget about because that does hold up so much grime throughout the day. So just, yeah, wiping that off, um, including, about waist up type pictures, any way that you can just get good lighting is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
I think good lighting, appropriateness and awareness of the background
Hmm.
is very important. An awareness too, and this will transition if I can into a little bit around our own self-awareness around safety, security, well-being, and how our ministries are portrayed in digital media. Especially with minors, those under 18, we need to have parental and guardian permissions and consent. And I think it's more than appropriate for adults as well to make sure that they are comfortable when you take their picture and that they're going to be representing your church and its ministries on digital media, to have an eye to that, not only in our regular worship life and in our church ministries, but also with our outreach and with our missions. We want to, of course, capture the good work that's being done, and that's easier now than ever in a digital age. But we also need to do this with our integrity and with an awareness of the consent of all of those involved to be featured in our digital presence. I do want to say a couple of notes on this from my own personal experience. My church really in the last 9 months has undertaken a significant amount of safety, security, and wellness work, walkthroughs at every level for our ministry, from the FBI to our local police, helping us have a sense of our awareness, not only They impressed upon me the importance on our campus and in our building and on our facilities, but in our ways that we represent our ministries online. They encouraged me to be aware. You would never want to have, even though, pool parties are popular in the summer in our ministries, you would never want to feature a group of people, regardless of their age, in their swimsuits or in their cutoffs, or appropriateness of the photo and how and what. We would never want to include people that have derogatory words or images or graphics on their t-shirt. We want to portray our ministries in ways that represent our people, but are respectful to the culture and the place that we do ministry. And so we always need to have an eye about what is appropriate, and what and how we want our presence to be seen. And a safe word about that, to just remember always, consent is important for people when they are photographed, and especially in mission and in ministries, even outside of the local church. You never want to have someone come back to you and say, "Why did you use my photo online?" That's, we always want to make people aware that we're taking photos. Yes, Amy.
I want to add to that, just an experience that I had, was that so often when we are the only ones and we're running the event, we're taking pictures of the event, and we're running the Facebook page, just be cautious of posting pictures from the event while the event is happening. We don't want people to be seen away from their home, because that people know that they're not home. And so that's what we are also very careful about. We don't post about the bishop, and show her live being somewhere else when she's away from home. We usually post about it afterwards. And so I would just recommend that, I know you love to do it and it's convenient to just do it while you're thinking about it, but consider doing it the next day, or, just after the event has happened, to say, that we had a blast. Hope to see you next time. But yeah, that's just another level of safety of keeping our community safe, and not announcing to your community when they're away from home. So, I also I wanted to share a little bit of information about what makes good Facebook posts, but I want you to be able to finish, Sarah.
Well, I just to recap, awareness, especially, when people are absent, how do we make sure people whose photographs that we want to include in our ministry profile give their consent, and the appropriateness of that nature. And when we think about backgrounds, we always, in ministry, I don't know about you all, but there's always lots of papers and lots of information. One of my key takeaways from the safety, security, wellness information of the local police chief, he brought it to my attention that when we post our prayer list on a public forum, we are highlighting dozens of vulnerable people in their health. And so as compassionate as we would want to be in sharing our prayer list to the World Wide Web on Facebook, we have to be cautious, because we don't want to jeopardize information that others may not know, or put people in a bad situation. This happens too, and I always try to give a word, because I've had this happen in ministry before, where someone has died and the church wants to get it out there for prayer and post it. And the individual who passed, their grandchild didn't know yet, but found out scrolling on digital media before a family member had an opportunity to pick up the kid from school. And so always an awareness that our posts are public, that people see them, and that's a great thing for our ministry and our presence and our outreach. but how we do that with extreme appropriateness matters deeply. Thank you, Amy. I'll let you
Yeah,
finish.
thank you. And I'll add to that at the conference, sometimes we'll take a little flack about getting prayer requests or obituaries shared, but we have to have confirmation from the family before we share anything. And that comes through the district administrator. So understand that we have a system where we wait to hear from the district administrator. The district administrator waits to hear from their family. And so anyway, sometimes we're the last to announce it, unfortunately, but that's the safest system that we use. I also wanted to share a few things that make good Facebook posts. Oftentimes I'll be, looking through a church's Facebook page or I'm going to visit and I pull up their address and their worship time. And very often I see two things. I see no faces. I see lots of cute graphics and cute, like prayers and scriptures and things like that are great and are meaningful. And sometimes we screenshot those and save them on our phone and or reshare them. That's great. And then sometimes all we see are worship services, and those are great. I mean, that's awesome. I love that we can find worship services so easily these days. But when those are the only things that we see, we don't see anybody greeting on Sunday morning. We're not seeing the life of the church, and people are not seeing the life of the church. And listen, if your church doesn't have anybody that is younger than 70 years old, that's okay. Celebrate that. There is vibrant ministry coming from 70-year-olds and above. And so there's so much to celebrate, and just even if and I see also that having volunteers who will take pictures, and you don't have to give them the ability to get on Facebook. If you want to keep that locked down for just you, that's fine. But put people in charge of things. Put people in charge of your Sunday nights or your Bible school or your mission event, your food pantry, whatever. Have someone that's in charge of taking pictures, and just have them text them to you or have them email them to you, and you can create a folder to keep those in and go back to, because oftentimes the best way to promote an event, a yearly event or a monthly event, is to use photos from a previous event to say, look what we've done. Look what we did last year. Look at all the people that showed up last year. Look at all of these faces. We hope to see you here this year, and so just know that pictures with faces are all, and it doesn't, yes, quality is good, and we need good quality pictures that are not blurry and that are not too dark and all of the things. However, real looking photos and videos are what people are into these days. They are into personalized. They are into personalized posts because people are more likely to come to your church, come to a dinner, come to something, meet you somewhere if one of your people invites them. If one of the people in the church invites someone else to come, they're more likely to do that than to just see something on a Facebook page, because we know now that on Facebook, it's all it is people trying to sell you something. But if it's someone you know and you trust, and it looks real and it's not AI, people are more likely to stop, look, and listen. So those are just a few tips that I have as well. And I'm going to turn it over to Day, who is going to open the floor for questions and answer any questions you may have and share any further information.
Yeah, so we already have one question from Chris Becknell in the chat, and I'm gonna let you to help answer this. If the main church page shares a ministries post and the main church page includes the hashtag following loving sharing, does that count?
Okay, I'm sorry. If the main church page shares a ministries post and the main church page includes, yes,
So, yeah.
the hashtag has to be with the post. Every post that you share. Chris, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yes, having it on your homepage, that's great. But we're not going to be able to measure that. That's not going to be searchable. What's going to be searchable we're looking for posts, and so people liking it. That's usually what we want. We want the engagement. We want people to like, and we want people to comment. We want people to share. But for this contest, because we are actually measuring, we are collecting data that is a hashtag. We will only be counting how many times it's shared. And so the hashtag following loving sharing has to be in the post. And it has to be marked. Your post for your church has to be marked public so that we'll be able to see it. Does that make sense, Chris?
Well, we have youth Facebook pages and children's Facebook pages, and a lot of times we'll post things on their pages that are not relevant just to the entire church,
Sure.
but then I will share it from the church's page.
Yeah.
And so as long as the hashtag is on everything, we should be good.
Yes.
So
And
when I share it, I'll make sure that they put the hashtag when they put it, but I will also put the hashtag when I share it.
And they don't have to add anything. I mean, if they just share the post, if they just
No, it's the other way around. If I am sharing a post, if our church is sharing a post from another one of our church
from
groups,
like your youth group. Yeah.
right? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I saw Heather, your hand was up. Did you have a question earlier?
Yes. So when you say the profile pic for the church's Facebook has to be the conference, the circle with the following loving sharing, you're talking about not the wide picture, but the little circle, right?
Yeah, not the header photo, but the little profile picture.
Couldn't
Yeah.
remember which was called which and whatever. And the following loving sharing, did I read that the F, the L, and the S all have to be capitalized?
No, that won't make a difference.
Make a
It
difference.
won't, because very often when you are searching for hashtags, and when you're adding hashtags, the autocorrect of Facebook will make it all lowercase. You just have to make sure there's no spaces. It just has to be following loving sharing.
Okay.
And I see that Cheyenne, hey Cheyenne, all your kids. I see she asked about the logo. That is on the conference webpage. Day, would you put a link in the chat to
I
the
did.
logo? Okay, thank you.
Everything's there. You can download. I've made PNG and JPEG options of all the colors for the graphics. So feel free to go in there and grab them. And if you
Roy
have,
Beth did too.
yeah, and if you have any issues downloading them, send me an email and I will send whatever you need.
Yay, thank you. Okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So JJ and I were originally thinking we would do this sermon series, Following Loving Sharing, in the new year, in January. But now we feel like if we're going to be talking about it so much to get all this post stuff happening, we need to preach it at the same time. But we're right in the middle of a giving series, right when we're supposed to be doing all this. So it's all very complex.
It is
We're
complex.
thinking we're going to come out of the giving series and go into the Following Loving Sharing series, but it's going to be after the contest, but at least people will be familiar with it. Do we have sermon curriculum stuff if we want to do a study, whatever? Do you have that available soon?
Almost finished.
Okay.
You're almost, and I'm looking at some of you on here who have contributed, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I have just shared that we are collecting just the last few elements, and I will tell you, it has been set up like a lectionary. It's a templated lectionary that you can choose from, and it's 3 weeks. We're hoping, I mean, it would be a great time. And this campaign, The social media contest itself is not the full campaign. We will have billboards through the end of the year. So we're still going to be talking about this. There's going to be more, and we're hoping that we'll be able to offer this sermon series, which I think is just going to be fabulous. We've had some great contributors from pastors, a great diversity here in Arkansas, and we want the next step after our cabinet signs off on it. We are sharing it with the board of discipleship because we want their endorsement, and then we will be sharing it and encouraging people to use it after the beginning of the year. So we're actually hoping to kind of stretch it out a little bit. This contest is just a small part. This is just a small part of the larger campaign, and that we hope to be able to spread out for the rest of the year and into 2026 as well.
And you mentioned TV commercials, but I don't often see commercials because I don't watch a lot of TV and I fast forward through commercials when I do.
Yep.
So will those be somewhere where we can access them and share them?
Yep, those are going to be on like Hulu. They're not on your general network TV. We decided to go on streaming channels. Now it's through KTHV 11, but they set it up for us. And so we're on Hulu channels. We're on some Netflix. We're on some Tubi. We're on Star. We're on, I can't remember all of the different networks, but it's like a commercial. And I tell you what, if I can quit talking for a minute, has everyone seen the video?
The video is actually on the website on the Following Loving Sharing page, and it's on our YouTube too.
Okay.
But we can pull
Can
it
we
up now.
share it? Can
Yes.
we share the video?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna share my page right now and just show you the 30-second commercial spot, okay? So that everybody can see it. And I hope the sound is okay, because I was not prepared to do this. Send request. Can someone let me
I got it.
Okay, thank you. Share. Sorry. Nothing like all of a sudden getting sweaty and anxious. Okay.
Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. We love because Christ first loved us. By this, everyone will know you are my disciples if you love one another. God's grace is abundant. Share your bread with the hungry, and your light shall break forth like the dawn. Following Jesus, loving people, sharing grace. The United Methodists of Arkansas.
Yay. It's really good. And I will tell you that we have used and will not be using any stock photography. There is no stock photography being used. The billboards are up. We are grateful that we have them up for 3 months, and we will be doing 2 different rotations. And I will share that we are accepting photos for the very last month, which is going to focus on our United Methodist Open Table. We would love to have any, of course, baptism, photos of baptism, but also photos involving communion, and the photos that we're looking for. And I will tell you, it's not necessarily up to us. We send in a bunch of photos, and the billboard company goes, this is not good enough quality. This is not good enough quality. This has too many people in it. And we don't have a choice in that. But we want all of the pictures of any kind of communion shots that you have, of people taking communion. We have to have permission of the parent for any minors. Yeah, and we've been getting permission from anybody that's going to be on a billboard, an adult, too. It's just good practice. We want to be good stewards there. So with everyone and them be happy about seeing themselves on a billboard. But does anybody have any other questions? I hope you know that we are spending this money wisely. This is zero tithe money that is being used. This was a gift from Mr. and Mrs. Rush Harding, who are members of First United Methodist in Little Rock, and the gift was earmarked very specifically for what it was to be and how we are to use it. And so that is what we are doing, and we're blessed. We are not many, Council of Bishops is even, just thrilled, and News has done a story on us because not everybody gets a chance to do this, even with, even the conferences that have money, because this stuff is not cheap. It is very expensive, and we are spending every dime on what he said we could spend it on. So I hope it will be something that you all will be proud of.
So Amy, to clarify, if we show that YouTube video in worship, it's not going to kick us off live stream because it's protected or something, right?
No, okay. It is, it's on TV right now. So, yeah, it's good to go. It's a YouTube link, that is open for anyone that has the link, and there is no copy. The music is copyrighted. The voice, we paid for the voice, we paid for the music, the images, we own the images. So it is all ours to show it as much as we can.
Amy, this is Terry Gregory.
Hey, Terry.
Hi. I got on late. Is there a link for me to send to unit presidents?
This Zoom is, you mean to on this Zoom?
For United Women in Faith unit presidents, because I'm the president of the Northeast District.
Yeah.
And no, congratulations.
Congrats. Thank you for serving.
And so anyway, I just wondered if there was a link to, I just got in from working outside. I'm not publicly.
Okay. Yes, everybody who has attended this Zoom call will receive a follow-up email with a link to the webpage that has the rules of the contest. It also has all of the graphics. And then you're also going to get a link to this video. This meeting is being recorded. Now, that is going to take us a day or two to get it edited, but we will send it. And just know that the contest starts on October 13th, which is Monday. It starts on Monday, and we just hope that you have as many people in your church and in your community share your posts from your churches, and friends, just don't forget that you need to have that logo as your profile pic. Because we can't start counting your hashtags until that logo is up. So anyway, I hope this is something that you'll enjoy, that we will be happy for the winners of the free bulletin outdoor boards, and that this has given you something to feel good about, and given your people something to feel good about, which is the whole purpose. So anyway, any other questions?
This is Terry again. Would you share just the beginning of this? I know it's going to be recorded, but can you share with me about the contest details just one more time? Okay.
Yes. So there's going to be 2 billboards that are given away. These have to come. The posts have to come from local church Facebook pages. It can't be personal. It can't be just like Amy Ezel is sharing the hashtag and tagging my church. It has to be the local church, and then people share that post from the local church. And we count every single one of those posts. It has to have the following loving sharing hashtag in it. It also has to be marked to public and not a private post, or we won't be able to see it to measure it. And there will be one for given away for the most amount of posts for people in a community over 2,500 population, and one for people with less than 2,500 population.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Any other questions before we close?
Amy, it's Toby Austin from
Hey,
Star City.
Toby.
I have one for you.
Okay.
At the beginning of the Zoom, you made reference to the hashtag.
Yes.
And just point of clarity for me. So
Yes.
do we just use the slogan, or do we put the hashtag in front of the slogan?
Okay. I want what you need to do first is you need to change your Facebook profile picture to the logo, to the round. Okay. Then you don't have to use it again. You don't have to use it again.
You need to use the hashtag.
You have to use
on
the hashtag on every post.
hashtag following loving sharing.
Following loving sharing, no spaces. It has to be all one word, following loving sharing. I know English teachers hate it, but that's how it works, and that's how we're going to measure it. I also mentioned at the beginning of this that anything a church is doing, any reason that you already have to create a post, share a photo, share a scripture, that counts as following loving sharing. So add that hashtag to everything you're doing and ask your members to share it. And if they share it, that counts for an additional share.
Thank you, Amy.
You are so welcome. Well, y'all, this has been fun. It's always good to gather with y'all. I hope that your people will have fun with this. If you have questions, if any of your folks have questions, reach out to Day Davis. She is our social media guru. And take advantage, pastors, take advantage of this time to have people take pictures and send them to you so that you have something to post every day, even sometimes twice a day if you want to. But take advantage of making this a congregational effort, and I guarantee people are going to have fun, and people are going to really dig in and want to win that billboard in your community. I wish we could give billboards to everybody in every community. So anyway, but yeah, and know that the billboard will have your church name on it and have a picture of people from your church. Hi, Deanna.
If we don't win the billboard and we wanted a billboard, who do we contact to get something that matches everybody else's?
Contact Day, and she'll put you in contact with Kelly Reap, she is contracting with us to do all of our media buys, and you really do it. I've had people ask, can we do our own billboard? Yes, you absolutely can. Check with us first, because we've got a big group buy.
We want to keep branding on brand.
Yeah, we want to keep it on brand.
Contact Kelly or contact Day?
You can contact Day. It'll be easier.
Okay.
But just know that we're working with Lamar Advertising, and they have given us an amazing deal. And so we can get a billboard for you cheaper than you just reaching out to someone locally.
Okay.
And, or you can price shop if you want to. I always invite people to price shop, but more than likely, with the deal that the Good United Methodists at Lamar are giving to us, it's going to be hard to beat.
Can you give us a price?
Well, it's different for every area. Like one of the boards costs about $1,500 for 3 months, and it's on I-30. With over 100,000 traffic impressions each day. The board that is in Prescott costs $500 for 3 months, because, well, first of all, it's not a digital board. It's a board where we put something up there and it stays up there for 3 months. It's a like a sticky. They put a poster up there, and so those are going to be cheaper, and because they don't have as much traffic. They measure the amount of how many people drive by the billboard, and that's what determines the price. So, a digital billboard is going to be, you could push close to 2,000 in some areas in Northwest Arkansas, Northeast Arkansas, Central Arkansas, Texarkana. They're at the border. But in some of our smaller towns, we can get them for much cheaper, for a couple of $100 in the smaller towns.
Amy,
Yes,
this
sir.
is Bob Jeffrey,
Bob.
Mulberry and Dyer.
Yeah,
Charles.
good to hear from you.
Did we get it worked out to where we're going to have billboards in these places that we didn't have when we first started, like Western Arkansas and some other places in the state?
Yes. So here's the problem that we ran into, Bob. Not every place has billboards that are available.
Okay.
Arkadelphia, for instance. Here's a great business idea. Want to put in billboards in Arkadelphia? Guess what? People want to buy them, and there's none available.
It's that same way in Western Arkansas?
In a lot of smaller towns, yes.
I'm talking about the Fort Smith area.
Oh, Fort Smith. We are on a waiting list to get to get an outdoor board for Fort Smith. Crazy.
And the reason I say this, when all this list came out and there wasn't anything showing in the Fort Smith area, it kind of made me mad.
I'm sorry. No, we tried for Fort Smith. We tried for Arkadelphia. We tried for down the highway that goes to Lake Village. But oftentimes people sign 12-month leases for these bulletin boards, and we're only signing a 3-month lease, and so they can't just bump it. And so no, we're trying, and this is something that we're actually working on every week. Is we're trying to find where other billboards may be coming up and be available.
If we're not there, we're trying to be. I promise.
Well, exactly I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was it kind of left you feeling like, well, we must be the stepchild.
The ugly stepchild. I know. You're not.
I hate to say that, but you know, there's Methodist in the United Methodist in the Fort Smith area, as well as
there's a lot of
Northwest Arkansas and Little Rock and Paracool and all those places.
Yeah.
If we could be everywhere, we would.
Yeah.
That's the goal, actually.
Right. Yeah. So, and we're trying.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Well, and I'm so glad you asked that question, because that's probably, there have been a lot of people that have thought, man, I can't believe they're not in my area where we've got this, and this. Hey, Pam.
I just had a thought.
Yes.
Some of you have seen me in my car. I have magnetic signs on my car that identify me as the pastor of First United Methodist Church Nashville and also of Bingen. Would it be possible for us to get properly branded metal magnetic signs?
Sure. Reach out today and she can design it for you, and you can get one from your local print company.
That sounds.
I think, there'd be people besides me who would be interested in that. And that way, Bob, even if you don't have a billboard, you slap that sucker on half a dozen of your members. I mean, I get amazing response. I mean, everybody's always noticing it, right?
Yeah. Well,
plus, it will make all of you drive more safely.
Well, I would have to.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't honk. You gotta
road
be
rage
respectful.
That's right. You better be good.
I'll send you a photo of my.
And don't move till it's red, and then you honk, and I mean.
Pam, does yours say honk if you love Jesus?
No, it simply says, it has the cross and flame, First United Methodist Church, the address and phone number. On the one for Bingen, they have always used "Come as you are," and so that's on there because we don't have a phone number for Bingen. But
of that,
it's And it's on, I have one for each church on both sides of the
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody decides that they want to do, that your church wants to buy a banner, if you want to buy signs, if you want to buy bumper stickers, if you want to buy stickers, anything like that, just let Day know. She will design it for you for free. Don't ever pay design charges. Don't ever pay design charges with your local printer. She can design it for you and get that for you, and then you can get it. You can invest in your local printer, or you can order it online. Prices are generally cheaper online, but we always like to do business with local printers.
Mhm. Okay, good.
Well, you might want to know the reason it upset me is I'm here at Mulberry and Dyer. United Methodist Church is trying to rebuild, and without any help publicity, when you're having publicity all over the state, it really kind of makes you feel like you're the bad stepchild.
I'm sorry. There are literally
I
no
cannot believe that. I just
available
cannot believe
in
that.
Fort Smith.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure you're right. It's
For
just
art
hard
help.
for me. It's hard for me to believe
I
that.
know.
The
I know.
billboard business is the one to be in.
Yeah.
I know.
Saying anybody,
I used to have a good
need a gig.
I used to have a good friend that was in that business, but he's passed away. So,
Yeah. Well, y'all, thank you, Day.
Thank you all.
I'll let you close it out for
I was
us.
just going to say thank you all for joining us. I hope that we answered your questions today. Like, if there's anything that we didn't answer, or if you think of anything later, please email me and let me know. It's day.davis@arumc.org. You can find my email on the website too. But yeah, we're really excited for this social media competition and just excited for our billboards in general. If you see our billboards, please take a picture and post them. Maybe pull over to the side of the road.
Do that first.
Yeah. Gotta promote safe driving. But again, thank you all so much for joining us today and have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
y'all.